It's not every day that you get to publicly acknowledge a man who has meant so much to you. I first met Lattie Coor, was introduced to him when I was accepted to Arizona State University. Graduating high school, I dreamed, as an Arizona native, of going to the state's most prestigious university. And Lattie was instrumental in laying the foundation for so many students that have poured through that campus with dreams and aspirations and hopes of making the world a better place. My second introduction to Lattie came my senior year when I was awarded with a $1,000 seed grant from the university, office space, and the mentorship of this exceptional man. And I remember thinking, as an entrepreneur that had dreams of making the world a better place and launching a nonprofit that would change the world, that what do you say when you walk in to meet with this legend? What do you do? What do you take with you? And I emailed him in advance and I said, Dr. Coor, what can I do to prepare myself for this meeting? And he said, bring your list. I said, what list? Bring your list of all the things that you need to make this dream come true. And so at the age of 21, I marched into Lattie Coor's office with my list. And it was a list that I knew could become possible if someone believed in it. And Lattie believed in that initial list of mine. He believed in the dream that I had. He opened up many doors to make introductions to so many of you that sit in this room today, that have become family to me, that have become role models to me and so many people in this community. And Lattie was instrumental in opening the doors, not just to me, but to all of us. We are all connected at this event and in this community, in large part because of the pioneers like Lattie Coor that laid the foundation for us to dream. And I know I'm not the only one that he has been counsel to. I'm not the only one that he has picked up the phone late nights, early mornings, and given advice, insight, and wisdom. He is humble, he is genuine, he is a fantastic listener, and he has become a mentor to me in a way that I aspire to be a mentor to others. Not every community has a Lattie Coor, but I'm so thankful that this community has the Lattie Coor that has made his list many years ago, and he dreamed so big for what he could make possible, not just as his tenure at Arizona State University, and not just with the Center for the Future of Arizona, but for every dream this man still has inside of him. Dr. Coor, to you.
I knew from the very beginning, without knowing, without even thinking about it, that I was going to go to college. And I had a burning bush moment in a sophomore course that made it clear to me I wanted to be an academic and I wanted to spend my life in universities. It's not a job, it's a way of life. To watch all of the results of that from every student who graduates and every beaming family that's there to the impact a truly functional modern university has on the community around it, in shaping the values of the community, and in raising the sights of the community. It's immensely satisfying. When I came to ASU, I was divorced, and so was she. We began hiking about a year or two in my presence here, and got married 4 years later. She is a wonderful human being. She is the spirit of everything I do, and anyone who knows her, she becomes a spirit in their life as well. But we both know Arizona pretty well. We both love Arizona, but it bonded us to this state. It got us into parts of the state that I only knew from looking at it from a distance that really deepened our tie to it. I had followed ASU, but I wasn't really well acquainted with what it was. And from the moment I saw it, I knew this university had a chance to be the great new 21st century university. We should retire the word retire. Retire means to so many people a fishing pole or a rocking chair. I have a few other Walter Mitty dreams that I play with from time to time, one of which is to do Kilimanjaro next year on my 80th birthday, so I've been sizing that up a little bit. So the hardest work, and hopefully ultimately the most valuable work, is to begin mobilizing people in all walks of life to take what is a logical step, and not one that will consume their lives, but will enrich their lives, to get engaged. What we see is this golden opportunity with a lot of young people, with a growing number of boomers moving into a period of their life when they can contribute significantly to our future, is an opportunity as strong as, and I believe better than, most states in the nation.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our Changemaker Award recipient, Dr. Lattie Coor. All yours. I'm going to put this up here.
Thank you much, Courtney, for that very touching introduction. Not only are we here to celebrate Experience Matters for those of us who've had the privilege to move from something that shaped our life for most of our adult life into something even more interesting, something more promising. But it's a good reminder in your introducing me that it's not just the boomers that are going to carry us into this next decade and decades beyond, but very talented young people like you who understand and who will carry that torch beyond anything all of us can do. And thank you, Nora, for not only having this wonderful event and for leading Experience Matters as you do, but for helping us all understand here today that it is about building community. It's not just about the wonderful things of having people be change makers in their more senior year. That's a special part of the endeavor. But as we do so, that we build this community in an increasingly important way. The work we've done to bring us to the point you saw in the slide of Arizona Comes of Age Vision 2025 began with a commission we gave to the Gallup organization to help us understand who we are as a state. 2/3 of our population comes from elsewhere, always has, born elsewhere, comes here. Who are they? We'd grown very rapidly, and we think we know, but we thought it was helpful to really get some insight into that. The first thing we learned, not surprisingly, is that Arizonans love this place, love its beauty, love its opportunity for outdoor recreation, love its climate, love its relatively low cost, love that sense of opportunity, individual and collective opportunity. It warmed our heart, and it wasn't something we didn't expect, but we're glad to have affirmed. But there was something else we learned that was deeply disturbing, and it comes back to this issue of building community. I'm going to ask you to take that app you have in your hand and answer the question, did you vote in the Arizona 2014 primary. That's the one we just had, the one in which Governor, Secretary of State, all of the state officers were there. If you did, say yes. Don't fib. Nobody can see you. Even if you wanted to and didn't, say no. And I don't know how long I have to give you to do this. I'll give you I don't give my students very much time, so I guess I shouldn't give you very much time. So I'm going to assume the 76% we see is representative of everyone in the room. In that election, only 27% of Arizonans voted. In an election that determines almost 80% of the offices in Arizona, legislature, governor, all of the rest of it, 27. And if you consider that only 70% of the eligible voters in Arizona registered, and count the number who actually voted, it's actually 16% of the eligible voters. That simply doesn't work for a state that has the capacity and the importance of a future that we have here. So what I say to you is thank you for being such significant participants in the primary. But in the spirit of this award that Experience Matters has kindly given me, and if the theme of the day, this is the moment. This is the moment for us to step back and for me to ask you to join our work at the Center for the Future of Arizona in very specific terms. As you leave here today, commit each of you to identifying at least 10 people you know who are either not registered or have not voted in the last primary. Most of the people you know, most of the people I know do register and do vote. So you're going to have to reach beyond that to find people where you shop, people with whom you work, wherever it is, between now and that next election, 10 months from now. Reach out and ensure that 10 additional people are going to participate in that election. 1,000 votes in any legislative district will change the outcome. It may not get a victor, but it will get the victor's attention. And when that starts happening, some of the things we have seen about paralysis and dysfunction we think, be taken care of. We found in our study that with this 27% turning out in a primary, that only 10% of Arizonans even believe their elected officials represent their interests. Imagine that. That leads to a dysfunction that does not make a democracy like ours work. So as I accept your award here today, and with my thanks and with my encouragement for what Experience Matters is doing, I urge all of us to build this community. It would take so little, as I said in the video. It doesn't take a whole life to do it. If each of us would take that step and have the 10 you ask 10 others, we can make a fundamental difference in the near term, which will have a very substantial difference in the long term. Arizona deserves it. This is the moment. Thank you very much.